We've had some recent life changes happening here on our homestead, and it's making us have to make some different decisions. Check it out.
With the recent job change, it has me away from the home quite a bit more, and this has fallen on the heels of more attacks on the homestead.
Hawks were our first experience of attacks on our homestead with our ducks. And then we had some attacks on some other ducks in a different area. We don't know what attacked them. And then we had some dogs, we think it was dogs initially, like when we looked, attack our rabbits. I think the hardest attack for me was not knowing what attacked our animal, not being able to see any footage or anything like that.
Yeah, when the dogs attacked our rabbits, we had a little small little hutch for them. We were in the works of building a bigger hutch for them, and that just kind of sped up the process. Once we had them already built and in their new hutch, the dogs came back. Luckily, this was a stronger, stable coop for them where the dogs could not get in, and we shooed them off.
It gave us confidence in knowing that the security measures you took in building this were, it was solid. Like, they could not penetrate it in their efforts, and it took some time for us to even realize that they were out here before you ran them off. So we did share that story, and a company actually reached out to us and wanted us to try out some very high quality 4K cameras. And it's really a benefit for us to have that tool and see what's going on around our property. Now, for many years, we've actually had Ring cameras, and I like them because I've been able to remotely place them on different trees. But there has been an issue with it relying on Wi-Fi, and the quality of some of the imagery is questionable.
And not only that, we're always constantly having to change out the batteries on them because we don't have the solar power connected to all of them. And it gets kind of a hassle, especially if we forget to change out the batteries and we're gone for a conference or out of town for that period of times, and we get that low bat. So we're almost having to come rush out here when we get back and change out the battery.
And the other issue with that is that the solar, we can only have it in the direct sun areas. We have a lot of trees, and so the solar doesn't work. And I'm not always alerted when there is a low battery. Sometimes it'll just be quiet forever, and I didn't even realize that it got kicked offline.
Yeah, and the range, speaking of that, the range of with the Ring cameras, since you have to require the Wi-Fi, you're limited on the range where how far you can go out with the cameras.
And I know some people would suggest like a booster. Here where we are in the country, it is not the same as what maybe you might have where you're at with much better Wi-Fi connections. We don't have that here.
Yeah, country internet is not the business. So this is where ONWOTE came and supplied us with 6-camera, an 8-channel security system. And the good thing about this is a 4K monitoring system. Now, if you have a 4K TV, you could hook it up to your TV and get a high-def quality picture of all the cameras where you're having placed at. Now, the good thing about this is a PoE, power over Ethernet, so it increases your range of where you could put your cameras at.
So far, what I've liked about it is the quality. There's definite definition. I've been able to go through and just kind of see that movement has taken place. When I'm seeing it live and there's motion, I will see like a little red motion, and he was out earlier checking on the chickens, and it puts a little red box around him and he's like walking around. But if I wasn't here and I wasn't getting alerts from the system, I can go and look at it and see when there was any motion that took place and be able to just kind of go over those areas and see what that was. Which I like that because that can answer some questions. Like if I see something and something's out of place, I can go and look and search for that to try to find an answer to the problem.
Now, a good thing about this compared to our Ring, with the Ring, you have to pay membership or a subscription fee. and they will allow you to replay that for a long period of time. Now with this, you can hook it up to an external hard drive and you're able to save that indefinitely where there's no subscription whatsoever. So that's a good plus in my book.
Now, initially we were overwhelmed with installing it ourselves, and then his job took him away and it was just sitting there, and I was like really uncomfortable because I didn't have the security that I felt like I wanted to have. So I actually reached out to a local installer that came and installed the cameras for me, and they catered it to what I wanted to see. They were listening to me. They taught me about kind of like a camera watching camera situation. So all of it is focused in an area, watching an area that another camera can't see.
It's almost like whatever the area that the camera doesn't see, the other camera will be able to pick up on that. It's kind of like getting rid of a blind spot on your property.
Yeah, and they told me, because they were familiar actually with the quality. Like, I didn't realize what good quality this was until I had expert installers like explaining to me what good quality these cameras were, that they actually sell much more expensively than what's available. So we are definitely going to put the link below if this is something that would interest you, because we're benefiting from it. And part of my desire in really wanting this and having it here is my protection, more so because with him gone, we have people that come here and purchase chicks from me, purchase eggs from me that I have in our home, and I'm by myself, and I want to be able to see, or I want you to be able to see, who is kind of like coming in and out.
So we're still learning about the capabilities of this camera system, and we're going to be doing a pros and cons, what we do love about this, and we're going to be giving that to you later on once we get the kinks out of this. So stay tuned if you want to learn more about this camera system. Now, even though the missus has weapons when I'm visiting job sites away from the homestead, I'd like to thank ONWOTE for providing these 4K monitoring systems, so that way if a predator comes around or some unwanted guests come around, at least it will alert us that someone is on the property that shouldn't be on the property. Now, building this hutch, we had to do faster than what we needed to do because of the dogs attacking our hutch that was given to us. If you want to see that video, we'll put that on the screen and also in the description below. Until the next video, let's grow together.